Hi, I'm Tally,
Hi, I'm Ada.
and welcome back to the TalTalk podcast.
And happy spring.
Happy spring.
Happy Eid Mubarak.
Happy Eid Mubarak.
To those who
Forgot about
celebrate.
that. Thank you.
Yes.
Our Friday off. We're off from work today.
We are off today.
I totally forgot about that. Shout out to Allah.
Shout out to Allah. Right, right. And I mean that with all sincerity, because I think in the city it's great that we have this time to give people who celebrate those days. Obviously, we benefit from having those days.
I love a Good Friday.
I love a Good Friday off. Yeah. Good Friday is also coming up.
Good Friday is also coming up.
This season.
Although I would prefer a Monday, a 3-day weekend with a Monday.
A good Monday.
I love 3-day weekends, but I appreciate a Friday.
I do
4-day work week,
I
will never complain about that. But between the two, between a Friday and a Monday, I prefer a Monday off than a Friday.
Why does that feel different to you?
Well, Mondays are our longest day.
That's true.
It's just hard to wake up on a Monday morning. Mondays are Fridays it's already the best day of the week. You're already so excited for it to be Friday. Mondays have a very different energy, and I don't want to be out working on a Monday. I just want to be in bed. Fridays I'm already excited about. I don't care if I'm at work because I know I'm going to be leaving at a certain time, and then I have these 2 days to look forward to. Monday is the first day of the week, and it's going to drag. You don't want to be negative, but Mondays are hard.
Mondays are just terrible.
Monday, and again, like I said, it's our longest day of the week, and you just want to leave, So between the two, like I said, I'd prefer a Monday over a Friday, but I'm very grateful for this Friday. I will always love a 3-day weekend. So, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm just thinking about how this season is so interwoven. We're gonna have Easter coming up, and Passover, and I was just reflecting about how not too long ago we went to Egypt, and we were just in this place of this, not the birth, but this special place for all three of those religions. So I was just reflecting, upon that,
and how connected we are.
And how connected we are.
And how connected we are. Yeah.
And how we should feel that connectedness to each other.
Absolutely.
And try to live in love as much as we can every day with all
in these times, but yes.
Yes.
And how when you come back home to a city like New York, you're still so surrounded by these three groups of people, and how we are so interconnected, and how we do have days off for each other's faiths, and we do acknowledge these days, and it's I'm happy about this Friday. So happy Eid to everyone, and happy Friday day off to everyone in the Department of Education.
And happy spring.
And happy spring. Today's the first day of spring.
Spring just started.
It's a beautiful day outside.
Yeah. Technically, according to Channel 7, it started at 10:46. Yeah. So we're only a few minutes into spring.
Yeah.
But I hope it's a great one for you, for Engineer Chris, for everybody.
Yeah.
So let's spring into it.
Yes. How was the reaction for you with the podcast?
I got
episode 1.
So much great feedback. The theme of the feedback was mostly that people felt that it was so relatable. That the idea of trying something new again, letting go of fear, trying for the sake of trying, because if you don't try, you don't know. I feel like that really resonated with a lot of people. Yeah. And it was very touching, to hear that, this little corner of the universe, these two little voices reached out, and so many people reached out back to us, and they felt the vibe we were giving out, it was received. Yeah. And I was so happy. And another feedback was, well, when's the next episode, or can I be on it?
Right.
And I said, well, it's not my choice.
Yeah.
Who we have on the show. I have to go through my boss first.
That's right.
I thought that was so cute, though.
I hope you will never forget.
I will never forget that. But I was like, wow, you want to be on our show, and it's that's how connected you feel to us. That you want to be on maybe a stool, maybe not a chair quite yet.
Yeah,
a little stool.
Maybe we need a live studio audience.
Maybe we need a live studio.
Williams, shut up.
Yes, and we can.
There are chairs back here.
There are chairs back here. We can fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. There's a couch on the side. Yeah. We can have maybe people holding up signs.
Yeah.
Clap.
Yes.
Cry.
Right.
React.
Right.
Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Something. Something like that.
So this week has been overwhelming, kind of. At work, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the reception, the reaction, everything has been so like you said, so supportive, so amazing. Everyone that's text messaged me, everyone that's DM'd me, anyone that's seen me in person, everyone has been so warm and so kind and so supportive, and only wishing me and the podcast good things.
Yes.
wishing that this goes as far as I dream and desire it to go, you know, and the positivity this week was kind of a little overwhelming, but I'm so appreciative and I have so much gratitude. Like I said in the first episode, it's always scary putting yourself out there, and then that's one thing, but then having to hear what people, their thoughts and their opinions and how they feel about what it is that they heard or watched, like that's another thing. That's like an added layer, and it's very personal, and it's very I was telling mommy that at work this week I kind of felt like I was walking around with not with my head down, but like kind of like averting my eyes, like not making too much eye contact with people at work, because I felt like once I posted a video clip from episode 1 onto TikTok, it kind of
took a life?
Took
a life of its own?
Kind of. And then the next day at work, people were coming up to me and saying things like, hey, I saw you on TikTok last night. I had no clue you had a podcast. You sounded so amazing. You look so good. Or congratulations. I hope this goes as far as you want it. Like, I felt not shy and not scared of anything, but I felt like a little extra exposed at work this week. I felt like people now know like my side quests.
Yes.
And I'm very private. I don't really talk much about my personal life. So to have people now know what it is that I do on my free time, on my spare time, that I have this passion and this like dream, and it has nothing to do with
your job,
my main job, the building that I'm in right now for my day job. I just felt really exposed, and I felt kind of vulnerable. Again, people were only telling me good things. But I felt like, oh my God, like being in the elevator or like walking up the staircase or like passing by someone in the hallway, like, did they see the clip? Like by Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it was just like not making eye contact with people, and kind of just like changing the conversation. They kind of brought up the podcast. And then by Friday, yesterday, today's Friday.
Today is Friday.
Yeah, yesterday, Thursday, by the end of the week, like Wednesday, Thursday, people were still coming up to me mentioning that they came across the clip on their TikTok feed. And before they got the chance to finish, I was like already like, you saw the clip? Like, I know you saw the clip. Yeah. And they were like, yeah. And I just felt really exposed in a good way, exposed and a little vulnerable, that people at my day job now know my side gig.
Yes.
And that the goal is to one day have this side gig be my main job, you know? So it was just weird knowing that people are on their phones all day, and that there's a chance of them coming across this. And it was just an interesting week, a good week, a week where I felt supported and encouraged. But it's weird having your coworkers follow you on social media platforms, like posts, follow you on multiple platforms. Again, good, because you want all the support in the world. But it's interesting having like all these eyes on you now, and then you forget that when you go to your day job, you work in a big building, there's going to be so many people there. Like, you forget that their eyes are going to be watching you too now. And it's very interesting. It was a very interesting week, a good week. But I'm getting into that. I have to get used to and comfortable with the fact that that I'm going to be seen. You know, I'm not Beyonce.
And heard.
Yeah, I'm not Beyonce. I'm not like this big, thing, but just something so simple as coming across somebody's TikTok feed, a TikTok clip on, the internet is kind of like a lot for me. But that was this week.
You're gonna have to go with sunglasses on.
Did no one mention the seeing you or hearing your voice on the internet?
Only a few people.
That was all week for me. It was so awkward.
Only a few people that like I have on Instagram. You can't have everybody from Instagram at work. I have to see you do something bad.
But then when you promote it on TikTok, they now go to Instagram. Like they're now they're going to YouTube. Now they're going to these other platforms because you promoted it on this one spot. So now they're finding you in these other places where they like usually wouldn't find you. So that's just like, oh, okay. Like I have to get used to being okay with being heard is fine. I'm used to that. But being seen is like social media wise on YouTube. Like it's a thing that I have to adjust to. But yeah.
I think it's better to adjust to that than to have like no reception. Like I don't know what would be worse. Like a horrible like comments.
I would quit.
Or I wouldn't quit. I like if someone said something like horrible about the show, I would say, okay, where's your show? Oh, I'm not tuning in. You have no show. I think like this is a good time to think about how you're gonna respond to feedback, and like criticism, because there will be people who have like maybe not so positive things to say, and like just learning how to like deflect and reflect and just like whatever negative energy you put on me, I'm just gonna send it right back to you.
Right. Send back to sender.
Send back, return to sender. Like
Sender.
may every evil eye in your life go blind, you know? So I think it's great that, you know, like so many people at your job are like, I'm a TalTalker. I think that's
awkward.
Wonderful. But
try to end the conversation so fast.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, how are you? Like, how was your like Monday? You know, like I try to end this so quick, but
I'm just gonna say get used to it, because if you want to go far, there's gonna be more people.
That's what I'm saying.
Saying like I'm a TalTalker too.
That's what I'm saying. Like this is like the perfect place.
Yes.
For me to adjust to being seen. Is this workplace?
Yes.
It's a big building. There's so many people, and it was just like a lot of like. It's one thing to get like messages through your phone. It's another thing when someone approaches you in the hallway and like stops you from like going to the bathroom or like taking the staircase or like they have to talk to you. Like they have to get it out that they saw you.
Before you enter the bathroom stall.
Right.
I'm like,
I have to peek and you know, let me run inside first before we get to have this conversation.
But think about it like this. Like there are times when I'm on TikTok and I'm like, how the hell did this get on my algorithm? Like this is from the other side of the world and a language I don't speak and a culture I'm not from. That could be literally you. Like someone on the other side of the world watching your TikTok and you're in a language they don't speak or understand in a culture they're not from.
Yeah.
So think about it like that.
It's very interesting, but it's been a good week nonetheless, and I can't complain. It's an adjustment. It's awkward at times, but more than anything, I'm just so grateful, and I have like a lot of gratitude. And like you said, I'm open to anything. I'm open to like people's opinions and like what they think we should work on or like what they find amazing about the show. It's really interesting when you're comfortable being behind the mic, but like at home and no one can see you.
Yeah.
You're like in your pajamas.
It's safe.
In a closet surrounded by clothes and you're safe. And then now you're on this beautiful set with like an engineer and there's a camera on your fucking face.
There's a camera right there.
It's just an added level of like pressure and being vulnerable and exposure. But nonetheless, I'm like grateful for it all. And again, I'm grateful to have you here with me. So
I'm grateful for you.
Yeah. So we're just going to jump right into it. The Oscars were this week.
And I don't like to watch award shows.
Yeah, no, me either. Well, not anymore. Not anymore. The Oscars were never something I ever really tuned into, simply for the fact because I'm not like a movie. I enjoy movies. I love going to the movies. I love film. But watching that award show specifically never really appealed to me. I never felt the need to watch the Oscars. I was more so like a music fan. I would watch the Grammys. I still watch the Grammys, the VMA Music Awards. Like I was more into music awards, celebrations around music, honoring music. So the Oscars for me have never really been a thing in my life. But in recent years, I've been watching. And this year especially, I wanted to tune in for Michael B. Jordan specifically, for Sinner specifically. That movie for me was like the movie of the year. And I had to tune in. I had to watch all 25 hours of that show to see him have his moment. And I would have been so disappointed if it didn't happen, but it did.
That movie was the movie of my decade, I think.
You think so?
Yes.
Interesting.
For me, the movie, I saw it like 3 times.
You did. I've only seen it like, I think I've seen it 3 times as well. I think you might have seen it more than me, but.
And then when people would come over, I'd make them watch it at home.
Yeah.
Like I remember for my birthday, like I was like, let's watch Sinners. Like.
I think it came out on your birthday, like on streaming like, services.
And for me, that movie was groundbreaking because of the message, the original writing. There was a twin. There were twins and it was one person.
Yeah.
The fact that like when I first saw that twin aspect, I was like, how are they going to do this? Because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I should have never had any doubt. Because Ryan Coogler directed Black Panther, Black Panther 2, so many amazing movies. Like when I saw that this was a Ryan Coogler film, I was like, no, I have to see this. Because he's just an amazing director.
He's wonderful.
Visionary, creative person. Sinners for me was snubbed for every category they didn't win.
Best director.
They were nominated.
Best.
How many times?
Best film, which is like the very last category, and then like the show wraps up. It's over.
How many nominations? 16.
Sinners is the most nominated film in history.
They won.
Nominated for 16 categories. It was nominated in 16 categories, and they only won 4. They won for best cinematography, They won for best original score. What else? Best actor in a leading role. And it was one more thing. It was 4. I'm missing one. But they only went home with 4. But they were nominated for 16, which is like amazing in it of itself.
That's a record.
That is a record. For the longest time it was 12. I forgot what film was nominated. Held that record for a couple years now, but for the longest time it was only 12 awards that this one specific film held, and they had the record. But then Sinners beat that with 16. But they only went home with 4 awards, but the award that people were most looking out for was Best Actor in a Leading Role, which of course went to Michael B. Jordan.
Well deserved.
Well deserved. I mean, he played 2 people.
Yes, he should have gotten 2 awards.
He played 2 people. I I forgot where he was interviewed, but somebody asked him if he got paid. If he got paid for 2 people. But he absolutely deserved this award. I think with Michael B. Jordan, he is a very likable guy.
Yes.
I think outside of him being an amazing actor and doing amazing in Sinners specifically, I think people in the Academy, I think people in the entertainment industry like him. And you could tell once he won the award, you can tell in the room how people reacted to him. I mean, on social media, on TikTok, you saw clips of people reacting to him winning, and like at bars, at restaurants, in their living rooms, like everyone was so joyful.
The people's champ.
The people's champ. People were really happy to see him win this award, and I think that says a lot about him, as a person, as an actor. The fact that Ryan Coogler selected him to do this role, I think just tells us that he thought that, who else would be capable of doing it, basically. Does that make sense?
Right.
He absolutely killed it. And I'm just so happy that it went to him and not to
whoever.
Yeah.
He who shall not be named.
Yeah.
That guy.
Right. So what are your thoughts?
I feel like the first thing I ever saw Michael B. Jordan in was in The Wire.
That's another thing. He's been doing it for so long.
Right. He's not new to this. He's true
been doing
to this.
it for so long.
I feel like actors of color, particularly Black actors, they have to be 4 times as good to be nominated for anything. Mm-hmm. And then to win, be like 10 times as good. When I thought about like all the nominations they got, for me, the 2 biggest snubs, I think, like I said, the 12 they didn't get, those were snubs. But out of those 12,
Best Director.
Delroy Lindo, Best Director, of course.
That too, I forgot
Delroy Lindo and Wunmi Mosaku.
For Best Supporting Actor.
Yes.
Delroy, yeah.
Those 2, like...
That went to Sean Penn, which was...
He didn't show up for the award.
Which he was not there for, which I think is such a bullshit slap in the face kind of thing. And like his role in the movie, I mean, I didn't really... What were you going to say before I just...
The car monologue scene should have won him that award.
In Sinners,
where he's talking about like his backstory and his friends who was lynched, how he knew like the prisoners on the side of the road.
Right.
When he went into his song and then Miles Canton started singing. For me, that movie, like that transformed the whole movie because you became invested into his backstory. Mm-hmm. Like for me, it felt like he wasn't just a supporting character. He was one of the characters. For sure. And then Wunmi Mosaku, like her role as Annie.
She was nominated for Best
Supporting Actress.
Yeah. Actress. Yeah.
And her role as Annie is like not just a former romantic partner to Michael B. Jordan's character, but like her role is like a healer, as like just this loving person who like was trying to help them run their
really knowledgeable, because without her, they all would have died.
Yeah. She said that she put like roots on him and her brother, like they protected him because they were veterans, and I guess in World War I. To see those 2 not get the award,
disappointing.
I was so disappointed, and that's why I don't like watching the Oscars, because the people who are, in my opinion, who are worthy. I'm not on the nominating committee, right? So my opinion doesn't count.
That'd be nice.
Towards the awards.
Yeah.
The people who were nominated, who you really felt this movie had a deep impact.
Yes.
Not just a cultural impact, but where he pulled inspiration from. Like it wasn't fake. Like horror movies, like their inspiration comes from real life. Mm. Sammy's living conditions. That was horrific, but that was real life. Mm-hmm. The twins and like their PTSD is like war veterans. That is not fake. That's real life.
Yeah.
So the fact that Ryan Coogler was able to interweave real life horror with like fantasy horror with like the vampires, and that these actors who helped to carry the movie didn't get their flowers, it's like, I'm not watching this show ever again.
It's such a dense film. It's so like multi-layered.
Yes.
There's so much to dissect. You
Yes.
watch it and there's like so many ways you can interpret
Yes.
the film. I feel like Sinners is a film that you can like take a college course on. Like you could take like 5 months, like 12 semesters or however long a semester is worth of on this film.
Mm-hmm.
Like even the concept of like a sundown town. Is that what it's called?
Yes, and that's not fake. That's
Like,
real life
sundown
horror.
towns were really real in this country, but how like within this movie, the context of this movie, the vampire, like the idea of a vampire and how you have to like go into hiding because the sun is down now and you have this wild creature, human, dead thing out on the hunt looking to like grow his collective, his little community here. Like at the start of the film, not the start of the film, maybe midway into the film when we're introduced to the Native American,
The Choctaw
group and how they were hunting down this vampire. There was, I don't know what language they were speaking in, but one of them communicated to the guy that was
the clan.
The clan. No, one of
that's horror.
The
clan.
One of the indigenous men said that in his language that we have to leave because it's getting late.
Yeah,
and we don't want anything to happen. That's basically what sundown towns are, you know? Like, you have to go by a certain time, historically in this country, particularly in the South. Like, you, as a person of color, particularly a Black person, you can't be in certain places because the white people in those places would probably do something to you, beat you up.
They're going to kill you.
Hit you with their car, kill you, hang you.
They're going to clan you.
They're going to clan you. Like, who knows what's going to happen? So many things could happen to you in a sundown town. And using that concept and connecting it to vampires, these creatures that thrive at night and don't do well in the daylight, you know, that only come out at night. I thought that connection was so beautiful. And then what else did what was it?
For me, Remick, the vampire, so scary.
So scary.
That he was also like, if you really listen to the movie, he was like a victim of colonialism. Yes. He's Irish.
Yeah.
But instead of like aligning himself with the other marginalized people, he's like, no, I'm going to take over. I want you for myself.
Exactly.
And that is how like white supremacy works. Like, you can't use your marginalized identity to get into a room and then try to take over, because there's a scene where him and the other 2 people that he turns, they try to get into the juke. And they're like, we're not racist. We're for equality. Right. Like, your intentions are to sneak in and to kill everybody.
Right.
You're trying to take over. So you could have used your identity. I mean, this would have been a whole different movie. But you could have used your identity to align yourself with and to be in solidarity.
Yeah.
Right. But you chose to destroy and to hurt. In the end, you lost.
Yeah.
You know? And I hope in the end that is how it works out, the white supremacy.
And I remember when we went to go see the movie in theaters, you had already seen it with Kevin, but it was my first time seeing it. You took me to go see it. I remember on our drive home from the movie theater talking about how my immediate interpretation of the movie was the actual bite, the actual like vampire bite, and then therefore killing someone, and then you wait a couple minutes and they turn. That in and of itself, the way that I interpreted that was racism, colorism, these ideas that come from white people, but they spread out and they infect people of color at times.
You're getting a taste of like this kind of proximity to like privilege.
Right.
But you're not really ever going to be like them.
Because by the end of the film, all of these African Americans were vampires now. The only people that survived at the end of the film was it Stack or Smoke?
I don't remember.
It was Sammy and I think it was Stack. By the end of the film that survived. All of these, or not, Stack didn't survive, but he was alive with Sammy while they're trying to fight off all these vampires. By the end of the film, all of these people are vampires now. You know, they're all dead. They're all these living. They're these weird, alive, dead creatures that are trying to infect us and get us too. Right. For me, the bite and converting someone and changing them was like, again, like I said, my interpretation of like racism and colorism and how these things come from white people, and then these ideologies and these horrible beliefs spread out, and people of color accept them and they take them and they follow these beliefs too. Like
it's like internalized.
Yes.
It's because it's forced upon you.
It's like it spreads. It's like a venom. It's like a disease. It's like this thing that kills you internally and therefore it affects like your worldview externally.
Racism is a disease.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So that was always my interpretation with the film, was that the vampires have to be white people.
Yeah.
if we're using it in this context of like being in the South in the 1930s and these African Americans are trying to invest in property and trying to buy this juke joint, but like they're doing it in a really weird
but it's also a trick.
Yeah,
because at the end the guy comes back with the clan,
right?
And they want to kill the smokestack twins.
The white man that sold the juke joint.
You took the money,
stack, yes,
but now you want to kill me and keep the money.
Of the fact that the location that they were in was a very clan heavy area. But that was always my interpretation. And I thought Ryan Coogler taking these real life horror and turning it into a horror film, clever. Like my mind, I don't think my mind could ever be capable of doing that. Like I'm always so fascinated by the mind of like writers and directors and people in books or in entertainment who are capable of bringing like real life things that are obviously already real and then making them so real in a different kind of way. Does that make sense?
Yes. You took real life horror.
Yeah.
You interwove it with fantasy horror.
Yeah.
And that's why it is so deep.
Yes.
I know some people like saw this movie and they were like, meh, it's a vampire movie. Yeah. And it's like, it's a vampire movie, yes, but it is so much more than that. You're just not, I feel like if you don't get it, it's like you don't want to get it. Maybe you don't want to go that deep.
You don't get it.
Maybe you don't want to. Maybe you don't want to really think about it because it's too hard to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's too hard to think about how we can use real life horror to inspire fantasy movie
for sure
horror. But that movie I could watch.
And the only
thing
fantasy about that movie is the vampire.
If you don't believe they exist,
everything else is real life horror,
sharecropping horror, slavery horror,
the Klan
horror. Mm-hmm. Still to this day, they're Klan members, and they're not. I don't know if they're labeled as like a domestic terrorist group, which they should be.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what you are.
Yeah.
We still have the Klan, and that is fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
For me, I look forward to the next projects that he's creating.
Mm-hmm.
I look forward to see who he casts.
Yeah.
I think like this group of actors was amazing. The best award for best original screenplay, right? That's what he won. Well deserved.
Yeah, best
amazing.
They went to Ryan Coogler. Yep.
The original score
went to
Ludwig.
I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Morrison. Who
also produced music, who also composed music for Black Panther and for Oppenheimer. Yeah, so that
well deserved.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Amazing. They're an amazing team.
But also best cinematographer went to Autumn Durald Arkapaw. Mm-hmm. She's the first African American woman and the first person of Filipino descent to ever win this award.
Amazing.
And the first woman in this category to ever win that award.
It's like history was made with these awards.
Yes.
And it could have continued to be made had they not been snubbed so many times.
Yeah.
Because I saw one of the other movies and I didn't get it.
Yes.
But then I think that's how people feel about Sinners. They just don't get it.
And that's okay.
But for me, I know that I'm a fan of like these directors such as Ryan Coogler. Good storytelling. It moved me deeply. I think that's obvious. It deeply, deeply moved me, the film. And I look forward to the rest of the projects that he has coming up. I'm so excited for like that future because I think I'm more than a fan.
And I think it says a lot about Michael too and his ability as an actor. The fact that he was able to take this set of twins who are so distinct, who have different swag, basically like different styles. Their clothing was different. Their
colors,
even the way they spoke was different.
One had a dimple, the other one didn't.
The way that they were, I thought he was like a gray. I thought Chris was saying yes. Yeah.
One did have a dimple. Yeah. He watched it too.
Yeah.
He watched Sinners too.
Yeah.
Just so that he would feel uncomfortable.
Okay. And I like that.
He did little things.
Totally switch. It was pretty cool. Yeah, no, I think that says a lot about him and his ability as an actor to really get you to believe that these are two different people.
Yeah.
I thought he did a beautiful job, and I think his Best Actor award was well deserved. And like we said earlier, he's been in the industry for so long, and I think I can relate to that. I haven't been doing this for a long time, but what I mean by that is I hope to one day be like a Michael B. Jordan, someone who's put in their time, someone who's put in all their effort, and someone who in the end is,
Not new to this, true to this.
deserving of all of their success and praise and love. And I think he was so deserving of what he received. And I think everyone wishes that for themselves, to feel like they truly earned something. So yeah, Sinners was amazing, and I'm so happy for what they did win. But like you, I'm a little disappointed that they didn't take it all the way.
I am so happy for what they did win.
Yes.
Well deserved.
Yes.
But I think they deserved it all.
Yeah. And he's only number 6. He's the 6th person to win, the 6th African-American individual to win in the leading Best Actor role. Nomination, excuse me. So in the past, there was... it was...
He mentioned Will Smith, Halle Berry.
Halle Berry is the only woman in Oscar history to win for Best Actress. That still hasn't been accomplished yet. And that was like what, maybe 25 years ago. But he's number 6 in like the Best Actor male category. It's him. It's Will Smith. I think Jamie Foxx, Denzel Washington, Sidney
Poitier.
Mm-hmm. And then not Chadwick Boseman.
Rest in peace.
Someone else. But I mean, there's still a lot of work to do within the Academy to really feel, not to feel, but to make sure that people are truly represented.
This was the 98th Oscars?
I'm not too sure. That I can't tell you.
I think so for it to be like the 98th and there's only 6?
I know, yeah. And the last woman.
Do better, Oscars.
I mean, 2 years ago, I want to say 2 to 3 years ago, what was
Oscar So White?
No, she was in The Wizard of Oz. She played Miss Marvel, the Asian woman.
Miss Brie Larson?
She's like Chinese. She was also in Crazy Rich Asians.
Constance Wu?
Yes. Is that no.
It's my favorite movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Michelle Yeoh.
She won for Best Actress 2 to 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, she's not African American, but she is a woman of color. And between that time, from 2 to 3 years ago to when Halle Berry won in like 2001, that's like what, 21 years. So clearly, the Oscars and the Academy have a lot of work to do with making sure that representation is like fulfilled and that people get their due. That they earn what they deserve. I think I was telling you in the car that, or maybe a few days ago, that it's now that starting this year, people in the voting Academy it's required that they watch every film that is nominated, which then therefore tells you in the past, every year besides this year,
it was carelessness.
People were just voting for,
their faves.
Yeah.
Vote for your faves.
So,
I know that Christopher Nolan had a private viewing of Sinners for Ryan Coogler, I think, for like voting members of the Academy.
Yeah.
And I wonder, like, having a director such as Christopher Nolan, who directed Oppenheimer, the Batman, some of the recent Batman movies, all these other fabulous movies
too,
with Christian Bale.
Yeah, right.
Yes, and with Heath Ledger. To have a director like have that backing. Ironically, by like a white guy, who I think he's also Irish.
Right, that is true.
I think that should say a lot to the Academy, the voting members. If like this is your guy, this is your white guy who's telling you no, like you need to watch this movie.
Yeah.
Not that Ryan Coogler didn't deserve the nominations or win on his own merits because he is a phenomenal director. I mean, Fruitvale Station, he directed an Apollo movie.
His first Oscar as well.
The Black Panther movies, like he's done so many amazing projects. I think that maybe that boosted him.
Black representation.
Yeah.
So wonderful at putting Black people at the forefront and celebrating their stories.
Right.
Yeah.
Having kind of like that cosign, I guess you can say, maybe gave him the boost from people who weren't getting it.
Right.
Sometimes you need someone who's like you to be like, no, look in this direction. Let me explain it to you this way. And like I said, I look forward to him getting more nominations, Ryan Coogler, the people on his team, getting more nominations, and then getting the accolades that they deserve because they deserve it. They're phenomenal.
Right. Well, I'm going to confirm because I feel like this is a rumor. I think I heard that Sinners is coming back to theaters, for its first year anniversary.
I have an AMC account, so I can check. Eventually, I am an AMC member. Yes, I
I mean,
love
I
movies.
remember seeing it in theaters.
It's on HBO, but I would pay to see it again.
No, I remember seeing it in theaters. I actually can't confirm because I don't have the Wi-Fi.
I'm gonna
Totally
type.
forgot about that.
I'm gonna type Sinners into the AMC.
Yeah.
Not sponsored, by the way. They don't have any. Oh, they have a showtime for Sinners today, actually.
Oh.
At 7:40 p.m.
Oh.
on.
I remember
Third Ave.
watching it in theaters and just freaking out because the idea of someone jumping on my neck and like biting me was just. So I remember being there in theaters and like physically like feeling up into a ball because the movie just made me so uncomfortable. But the good thing, can you confirm on your phone? Actually, I'm gonna confirm on mine as well.
Well, no, there's showtimes for Sinners.
Is it out already?
Yeah, there's showtimes.
Interesting. Well, that's something good to look forward to. I think I could have sworn the other day I read that it should be coming on April 24th for like as a re-release.
Maybe like deleted scenes are coming out.
Maybe.
You know, things that didn't make the cut. That car scene with Delroy Lindo and Michael B. Jordan and Miles Canton almost did not make the film. I read in an article. And, you know, I'm glad that they included it because I think it just made the film so much richer.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm very excited for all your success, Ryan Coogler. I don't know you. You don't know me. We don't know each other or anyone on your team.
We're big fans.
On my team, we don't know each other, but we are big fans and we're excited for your future as a director, as a writer, as a visionary. Yeah. And all the good things to come that are well-deserved.
Yeah. Well, on to a story that's not as...
Onto more real-life horror, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So... Cesar Chavez, who is this Latino civil rights activist, American labor leader, co-founded the National Farm Workers Association, has been accused of sexual abuse, of rape. 3 women so far have come forward.
2 of them were underage at the time. One of them was 13, one of them was 15.
And one of them is Dolores Huerta, who is 96 years old, has been holding in the secret for decades,
and who worked alongside him during the
their movement.
Yeah,
who coined the phrase "Si se puede," is one of the survivors of his atrocities.
Yeah,
and you know, I don't need to see DNA evidence. I don't need to. I believe the women.
Yeah, this
is horrific. This I'm happy that I've read some articles that some schools are pulling his name from their school name, covering his statues. I think that he ruined his own legacy. I don't think that he gets a pass for this because of what he did for farm workers and for civil rights. I don't think like this just, for me, like, you did a horrible thing. You did many horrible things. You abused women. Whether they were underage, whether they were children, whether they were women, you abused them. Yeah. And your legacy is tarnished because of you. And I saw one of my friends on like Instagram posted this quote from Dolores that basically like her thing was like, I didn't want to hurt the movement. I didn't want to say what happened to me to hurt all these people who would benefit positively from this movement.
Right. She said in a statement released Wednesday, Huerta said she stayed silent for 60 years out of concern that her words would hurt the farmer worker movement. Her quote was, I carried this secret for as long as I did because building the movement and securing farm worker rights was life's work. The information of a union was the only vehicle to accomplish and secure those rights, and I wasn't going to let Cesar or anyone else get in the way, she said.
She also had children.
Yes. By Cesar Chavez.
By him.
Secretly.
She gave them up for adoption. And, you know, to think that, like, violence against women and children is so normalized that we think that, like, if I reveal something that happened to me, that it's going to ruin everyone else's life. It's like, no, it's that he's a rapist. Yeah. That is what's going to ruin. It's not you. Right. And I think that, you know, at the time, like, this was probably very common, you know, and, you know, I don't think that maybe people would have believed her, or maybe they would have accused her of, like, you know, lying, or like, oh, like wanting it, or whatever people say to use to discredit women, people who come forward about these atrocities that happen to them. She's 96 years old. You know, I don't know how much time she has left. Yeah. But I think if you're 96 and you're telling us now it's because you couldn't live
Probably
with this
thinks
anymore.
I can't die with this secret.
Right.
I have to let it out.
I have to let it out. I haven't seen anything about people like saying she's lying or that they don't believe her.
Yeah.
I see a lot of swift like action to remove him
Mm-hmm.
from institutions and to include this now into his biography,
Right.
which is, you know, different because normally people say like I said, like, oh, like this didn't happen, or we can't judge, or like we weren't there, or we don't know, or only they know.
Yeah.
I don't need to be there. I don't need a time machine to go back in time and witness this happening.
Yeah.
Like I believe her.
Yeah.
I believe anyone who comes forward with like this kind of secret that's like taking over your life that you just can't take anymore. Once again, she's 96 years old.
Yeah.
To put that into context, she's only 4 years from 100, 4 years from living a century.
Yeah.
God bless her. I hope she lives to that long, to, you know, that much time. And I hope that now, like, people will maybe, I don't know, are more vocal about their support for survivors of sexual violence, of rape, supporting children who are also coming forward. Well, they were children at the time. The women who were children, they came forward. And I hope that, you know, this is a turning point for our society. Like, you can choose to do the right thing and you can choose to believe a woman, or you could be an asshole.
Right.
And you can choose to be like, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or his movement is bigger than this. No, it's not.
Yeah, that
It's
got
not
me
bigger than
thinking
this.
What Huerta said about holding this secret in for 60 years in order to preserve what it is that he created and established as a civil rights leader within his farm worker movement. Which, by the way, we were talking about this earlier before the podcast started. I think being Puerto Rican and Dominican from New York played a role in us not really knowing who Cesar Chavez was. Like, on my social media and in the articles that I've been reading, everyone, like, there's like a Cesar Chavez Day in like on March 31st in like California. There's like statues of him like throughout the Southwest and like in California. Like, he was Mexican, and the labor movement that he was supporting were predominantly Mexican. The people working alongside him were Mexican. So like, I think growing up in New York City, I personally, I don't know about you, didn't grow up hearing his name very often.
Same.
It wasn't until I was like maybe in high school or college where I was introduced to him and like what it is that he did and who he supported. So don't feel super connected to him, I guess. I'm, again, not super familiar with him. But like, I think being where we're from, he just wasn't in our faces all the time. He wasn't around. I didn't see a street with his name on it. We didn't have any holidays acknowledging him. There weren't days for him. Like, I know of him because of what he contributed to Mexicans, the Chicano movement in the West Coast. But on the East Coast, I'm not really familiar with his story. And we just didn't hear him much. He wasn't a figure that you saw on like a mural on the wall. You understand what I'm saying? Like in the street.
I just
he
think
just wasn't around. But the point that I was going to make really quickly, what Huerta said, the woman who came out accusing him of raping her decades ago, who's now in her 90s, and who has kept the secret in for like 60 years, who also had 2 children by him from the rape, reminded me of 50 Cent's Diddy documentary that came out in December, and how Diddy's longtime assistant, Capricorn Clark, it was in episode 4, the very last episode. Everyone that was included in the documentary were giving their final thoughts. Capricorn, I couldn't find the quote online, but Capricorn essentially said, I remember her saying, don't quote me, I didn't want to say anything because of the culture. That culture being like hip hop. I didn't want to say anything because of the culture. I didn't want to out him and all of his like wrongdoing, because it would mess up the image that he's established for himself. It would also, I think, dishearten people to know that this person that they've put on a pedestal is like horrible. People really love the fact that Diddy contributed so much to music. I mean, he really has, to music, to pop culture, to the culture. But I have such mixed feelings about this, and like the idea of like holding something in to preserve this person and like whatever it is that they created. Like, my feelings are so mixed, because with Capricorn Clark specifically and her being an assistant to Diddy, like, the only thing you were protecting was a predator. the only thing you were protecting was this crazy person. So like in your mind, you think you're protecting the culture, that being hip hop and his legacy and what he's contributed to like the lives of people, to us as listeners, as to people who've always been entertained by him. But really, you just have always been protective of him, protective of his craziness and like his method. Like do you understand what I'm saying?
His predator ways.
Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like you're not protecting a culture.
You're protecting a monster.
Right. So like I don't want to say anything negative about Huerta, but
I think people are raised to think I need to protect the monster because if I don't, there's too much to lose.
Yes.
Forget about the fact that you were just violated.
Yeah.
And
but
you
also
lost
people
something.
are gonna like completely bypass that
Right.
person that you're talking about, and then now you're the villain.
Right.
Now you're gonna be this person that's like intentionally trying to ruin their image, harm this movement that they've created, and it's just like I don't know. The messaging gets. We're losing the point here. Like it's not about me, it's about this evil, vile human person. But I think women just choose to be quiet because they're also fearful of the fact that all of this blame and hate, and it's gonna come their way now. And it's just
I think it's like the choice that's like forced upon you. Because like you said, like these are the consequences. If she would have told like anyone about this, what was the risk? The risk was the movement collapses. And she says and securing farm workers' rights was life's work, and the formation of a union was the only vehicle to accomplish this. And I wasn't gonna let Cesar or anyone else get in the way. In those words, she's kind of saying, well, I'm gonna get in the way.
Yeah.
If I tell what happened to me.
Which is such a shame.
And I think that's just that should be a reflective moment for the society we live in.
Right.
Why would someone who was raped, abused, violated think that it would be their fault for a movement, a culture to collapse, and not the person who did it?
Right.
Like, Cesar, you're the rapist.
Yeah.
You would have been the cause of this movement. That has to do with a lot of like hatred against women in society, hatred against children.
Yeah.
And the supremacy of men.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean this man who's now larger than life did this thing to you? You're a liar. You just want to be with him. You wanted him. You wanted it. You tempted him. And it turns into no, he did an atrocious thing.
Yeah.
That I hope he's burning in hell for.
Right.
I don't agree with the phrase don't speak ill of the dead.
Yeah.
If you were a horrible person in real life,
Absolutely.
you're a horrible person after.
Yeah.
Go to hell.
Absolutely.
That's it. I don't believe in that because like if you were horrible in real life, then I have nothing positive to say about you in death.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
And whatever you did to her, I hope you're getting it 20 times.
Yeah.
And to those women, the women and children, I hope you're getting it 30 times.
Yeah.
Like I
It
just don't.
It just got me thinking about why women feel the need to preserve and protect the man that made them a victim.
Yeah.
Like even in all the trauma that they've caused and given you, that you're gonna be living with it for the rest of your life. Even in all of that, you still feel the need to protect them and look out for them and make sure that their image isn't tarnished, or that whatever they created, their contribution to pop culture and to hip hop or to a labor movement. Like women always consider everyone.
Yeah.
Women are able to multitask. Women are able to feel and do things. They can multitask their emotions and their actions. They can. Women don't just think about themselves; they think about the collective. And I think that that's insane. That even with being raped and having 2 children from a rape, you still
I gotta protect them.
Withheld a secret for so long to preserve this image and to preserve what a movement did for farm workers, for example. But like I just think that it's insane that in a woman's trauma, she has to suffer more. Because imagine all of the times, because this woman, Huerta, I think lives in California. Imagine how many times she's driven down like
Cesar Chavez Boulevard on Cesar Chavez Day.
Tuesday, so a Cesar Chavez Day. And like you're the only person that has this secret who knows him in a different way than like the public does. And like you have to like suffer in silence, and you have to just keep these thoughts and these feelings and these traumas to yourself. And you can't share them with anyone because you think that it's gonna tarnish and ruin whatever he's established. Like I think that's so horrible. And then
I think in our society we have a legacy of protecting abuses
Yeah.
people. If you think about the formation of this country, the abuse of the indigenous people,
Yeah.
normalized. The kidnapping and enslavement of African people,
Right.
normalized. The aftermath of slavery, normalized. All these atrocities committed by people, and we protect their legacy. There's a president who's a convicted felon.
Exactly.
There's a Supreme
Exactly.
Court justice. Like, I thought about like the Brett Kavanaugh trial.
Yes.
And how someone came forward and said, this man abused me. And he's still a Supreme Court justice.
Yeah.
So society doesn't care about
women
and
their trauma.
Their trauma. They care about the person, the abuser. It can't possibly be true that this person that we idolize so much did this horrific thing to you. There's just no way.
Yeah.
And I think it's like we have to accept that, like, some people are real life monsters. You're a real life monster, Cesar Chavez. You did horrific things. And your farm workers movement is not bigger than the atrocities you committed.
Yeah.
And you got to die, and they protected your secret.
I would want women to understand that regardless of what it is, regardless of whatever the thing is that's bigger than you and like this other person that is your assaulter. I mean, it's you don't know what it's like until you go through it. I don't know what it's like to work with someone like Diddy, who's a fucking sociopath. A monster. I don't know what it's like to work alongside someone like that's a Cesar Chavez, who is a civil rights activist, you know,
beloved
in the front, but is a crazy person in the back, a sexual assaulter, a rapist, a sociopath in the back. I don't know what that's like. I think it's easier. I think, what am I trying to say?
I think it's easier to not have the aftermath.
Like, I don't
want to saying you're lying.
I don't want to tell women what to do. I think what I'm just trying to say is, moving forward, I hope that we're continuing to evolve and become better as a culture and as a society. I hope that when women do experience things, because it's still going to happen, it can happen to any one of us, that when women do experience these kinds of traumas, whether it's in the workplace or whether it's with a romantic partner, like,
or someone you thought was a friend,
it's okay to, I hope that they feel okay saying something about it, whether it's the people that are close to them, whether it's happens with a public figure and you want to come out about it in a public way. I hope women feel comfortable enough to say something about it and do something about it, and not feel like because of this person's platform or because of their name or because of the money that they have or whatever they've established for themselves, they therefore can't do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I just hope that as time moves on, women, we learn from all of this. We learn that, you know, this is not the 1970s anymore, and that women today speak up in a way that maybe they didn't back then, and that today it's okay to say and talk about your experiences if you want to, of course, and that you shouldn't feel fear. You shouldn't feel like I have to be quiet for 20 years to preserve a culture like Capricorn Clark, which I thought was so stupid to say. Not if I'm being very honest. I thought that was so stupid.
The culture is the people. The people are the ones who decide what the culture is.
But in you trying to protect this culture, you're really protecting him.
Yeah.
You know, he could have been in jail possibly like years ago for the specific crimes that he was committing, like with Cassie, for example. But I just hope that moving forward, women feel comfortable enough, that society and culture makes them feel comfortable and safe enough to just speak up. Because withholding secrets like this and letting crazy people run free, I think continues the cycle of trauma, because it might stop with you, but someone else is going to be fucked over by that person, and they're going to have their own trauma from it. So I think, does that make sense?
I think, what I'm saying? Yes, that we have a responsibility to each other to be like, if this happened to me, I don't want it to happen to anyone else.
Yeah.
Instead of this happened to me and I got over it and I moved on and no one has to know because it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
No. If it happened to you, I hope you come forward. I hope you speak your truth.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that the problem is that people come forward and then people say, well, I don't believe you. So it's like, okay, so now you have to, like, going back to like Brett Kavanaugh, like, all these people didn't believe that woman. Why would you put yourself in the spotlight of the world?
Yeah.
Why would you put yourself under attack for something that wasn't true? So all that to say, like, in the remaining years of her life, I hope Dolores finds a sense of peace.
For sure.
I hope that she continues to live her life in these are the final years. I mean, if she lives to 100 or beyond, like, I hope she's surrounded by her loved ones always, people who will protect her.
Yeah.
I don't know if this will inspire people to come out and say like what happened to them
I hope it does good.
and speak their truth.
I hope it brings women to the forefront and become vocal about their experiences as well, and that her story of withholding the secret for 60 years communicates to other women that they don't have to do the same.
You know, he got to die in peace.
It doesn't matter how powerful a man is, and that there's that part too.
He got to die in peace, not with people not knowing that he's a monster.
Right.
You know, he got to die as like this hero.
Yeah.
You know, and that's unfortunate because he wasn't. And now, you know, she gets to live her life knowing I told, I let it go.
I said my piece.
I said my piece.
Yeah.
And that's it. And this is I think the bravest thing that she's done. And you know, I don't want to say like I'm so proud of her. This is like what happened to her is nothing to be proud of. I'm proud that she spoke her truth.
Finally, yeah.
And she just put it out there. And you know, like I said, I believe her. I believe the survivors. I will always believe
absolutely
a survivor.
Absolutely.
I don't need evidence. I don't need you to tell me or try to convince me.
Yeah.
If you said it, it happens.
Yeah.
And that's just it.
I don't believe that women lie.
Right.
Over something like that.
Right.
I just don't.
I don't believe that women lie. I don't believe that men lie either.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, this does happen to men too. I don't believe that children lie. I don't believe in any of that. If you said it happened, it happened, and that's it.
Yeah. And I just wish that moving forward, women again feel comfortable enough and feel safe enough to speak their truths if they choose to, because they also don't have to if they don't want to. But I'm happy that she lived long enough to see this time period that we're living in, and to see that women have already in the recent year, like in the past decade, have exposed so many men and have told their stories. I'm happy that she lived long enough to experience this moment in time and to feel comfortable enough to share her piece, and that, and her doing that informs us on who we shouldn't be celebrating anymore, or acknowledging. So
sometimes on this show we talk about things that might not be so lighthearted.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I love about our show.
Yeah.
If it's happening, we're going to talk about it. And you know, this is not just a place for like lighthearted things or funny things.
Yeah.
This is a place where, you know, we have opinions and we're going to speak on them.
Right.
And this is a place for you to feel comfortable to share your truth too.
And safe. And like, trigger warning to anyone who might have, you know, experienced any trauma or sexual assault. It is such a heavy topic, and it does put a damper on the mood. You know, it changes the vibe in the room, but it's so real,
and we need to talk about it.
Yeah, we need to talk about it,
because the more we keep silent, the more normalized it is.
Absolutely.
And the more we continue this legacy of protect the abuser.
Yes,
fuck the abuser.
Yeah, and if they have statues,
burn them down.
Yeah,
take it down.
Have, like, streets named after them, or like
take it down
on the street. Absolutely,
take it down.
Absolutely, bring those things down. So I'm grateful for her in a lot of ways, and I'm sorry that happened to her, but I'm so grateful that she's now able to tell us what happened. And like I said, in her doing that, she's informing us on who we shouldn't be acknowledging or celebrating anymore. And I'm grateful for that as a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
during Women's History Month.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
We should have been celebrating her during Women's History. And you know, now we champion her for her efforts towards the movement.
Yeah. And, but because of her, she coined the phrase "si se puede."
Yes.
Which I didn't know until I read this New York Times article, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Because I feel like growing up I heard that a lot, whether it was in film or like just amongst people, like in person.
Yeah.
Si se puede is like a common thing that you really hear amongst Latinos in like big moments of fill me in. I'm blanking here.
I remember a movie on Disney Channel called Gotta Kick It Up.
Yes.
And the girls chanted, Si se puede.
Yes.
So when I read that she coined the phrase, it like transported me back to that time when I saw the movie, and I thought, oh my God, like Si se puede, yes I can. Such a powerful phrase.
Yes.
3 simple words.
Yeah.
But so powerful.
Heavy and so strong, and
so heavy, so strong.
So much.
From a strong woman.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, who builds up this next legacy of strong women.
Absolutely.
May we be strong women. When we know strong women, support women always.
Yeah.
Women and children. And
may we keep them safe.
Keep them safe.
Yeah.
And believe them. Believe the people who say that things happen to them.
Yeah.
Because why would you lie?
Absolutely.
Actually, if you have a reason for why they will lie, I don't want to hear it.
Yes.
I don't want to hear it. But some people.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, we don't.
Don't comment it.
We don't support that over here.
I don't support you. I think you need to go like work on yourself.
Yes.
Like do some therapy. Like figure that shit out.
Yeah.
Because I don't support you. I support the people who say these things happen to me. I want to say it now. And that's it.
Yeah. it's such a vulnerable thing to put out there. I don't know
Yeah.
why people think women would lie. It's not anything to be proud of. I
Right.
think there's so much shame around rape,
Guilt,
sexual assault.
shame.
Why do you think I'd put myself out there
Mhm.
to now be known as a victim of this
Mhm.
kind of thing, but then to now have you ridicule me?
Call me a liar.
Yeah, like why would I put myself out there like that? Why would I do that?
Mhm.
You know, I think it's such a vulnerable thing to do. I don't know why people react that way so negatively and think that women are lying all the time. But
We believe you.
yeah, I think it's horrible. I think it's horrible. And I think maybe, I'm sure so much of that contributed to her not saying anything for 60
Yeah.
years. But I just want to establish that the TalTalk podcast is a space where we believe women and we take
believe
them
women.
seriously.
Mhm.
And I think we established that last time.
Yup.
With like the first season.
Every time.
With the last time the TalTalk was recording.
Every time.
But this is a safe space. And I want people to know, listeners and watchers know that we talk about everything here.
We talk about everything.
And even the ugly stuff, the horrors.
The real life
The real life
horrors.
horror movies.
Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, we're big supporters of women, and we thank all of the women
Mhm.
during this Women's History Month.
I thank you.
I totally forgot that it was Women's History Month. We thank everyone for tuning in. We thank our engineer Chris.
Thank you, Engineer Chris.
I thank Ada. I thank myself. Thank you everyone for tuning in, for listening. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow on Instagram, the TalTalk podcast on Instagram. What else do we have? I totally forgot.
We have
TikTok, Instagram, YouTube.
TikTok.
Find us on all the socials.
Yeah, just find us.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Yes.
And thank you for listening. Thank you.
And we look forward to next
I'll talk to
time.
you later. Thank you.
Talk soon.